This seal looks mottled and old, but you merely draped it over the school beauty's stomach. It actually turned him into a world-toppling succubus in an instant. This rusty cross pendant to become an immortal vampire, and forbidden items like these that can defy fate. You have a whole room full of them, simply because you run a collection. A forbidden antique shop, as long as the guest can pay the price. They can obtain everything they desire here. This is a dragon pearl from the Tang dynasty. Holding the dragon pearl allows one to bring, but according to the records of the previous owner, sealed within this pearl is a remnant soul. It is the resentment of the deceased Dragon King. Anyone who touches it will suffer the Dragon King's attack. You stared at that unadorned dragon pearl. A fallen deity. Interesting. You reached out your hand to touch that dragon pearl. The next second, a blazing white light swallowed you whole. When vision was restored, you found yourself in a vast white mist. There was only endless void. A man with hair as white as snow, a hunched-over old man in black clothes. Raspy voice opening. I hate this so much. I am unwilling. My son died a tragic death. I want revenge. I want revenge, he was muttering to himself. Revealing those secrets buried in time. Secrets deep within the void. Li Shimin stood by and watched. I was set up. The corner of your eye twitched. Li Shimin. The Dragon King of Jing River turned his head mechanically. Malevolence surged within his sinister triangular eyes. He locked his gaze firmly onto you. I want revenge. I want revenge. You looked at him, your tone as flat as ice. Who is your enemy? The Dragon King of Jing River? He had originally wanted to tear the living being before him to shreds. But he was stumped by this question. Who? Who exactly was it that plotted against me? He tore at his hair frantically. A dangerous curve formed at the corner of your mouth. Walking slowly toward this fallen deity, your voice was deep and full of enticement. You pledge your loyalty to me, bringing clouds and rain for me. In exchange, I will help you find your true enemy. Like a bouncy ball ricocheting in a sealed space. After a long time, he stared at you intently. He rasped out a few words. Give me a time limit. In 100 years, you held up one finger. If I haven't helped you find your enemy by then, I am willing to have my soul extracted by you, never to be reincarnated. The malevolence in his aura gradually condensed into a strange stillness. Deal. With the Dragon King of Jing River as the center, surrounding vast, white nothingness quickly receded. You snapped your eyes open. A slightly mocking curve played on your lips. If I fail to find them after your supposed 100 years, the enemy's soul shall be shattered. Pure nonsense. As the master of antique shop know, Zero, your soul has long been inextricably bound to this shop. Immortal and indestructible. A so-called breach of contract would at most add a few more layers to the curse outside the shop. In exchange for 100 years of loyalty from a god. Sir, you're finally awake. Kim Mi-jang jumped up from the floor. Her eyes red. She had clearly been on watch for a long time. You turned your head, your voice carrying a hint of raspy gravel. A whole day. Kim Mi-jang was still shaken. You just like a statue. Your pupils shrank slightly, standing asleep for an entire day. That was the power of the Dragon King of Jing River. If the negotiations had failed, you might currently be trapped in an eternal slumber. If just a remnant of resentment was this terrifying, then those gods, in their pride, how exactly did they fall? Deep in the eerie forests on the outskirts of western Nanhai City, Li Minggu lay flat in the bushes, the micro camera on her chest, flickering with a faint green light. Yesterday, nothing was found, and found that the disappearances all occurred at midnight. So, this rookie police officer had hidden it from her mental loop and come alone to this ruined temple to lie in wait. As expected, she waited until 4 figures appeared at the temple gate. A pair of men and women, one a white-collar worker in a suit. One was a provocative club girl. Those were 2 people dressed in ancient costumes. Men dressed in black Yayi constable uniforms, leaving like his heart pounded wildly. Trembling, she pressed the call button. Master, we have a situation. I found the culprit behind the disappearances. Look at the shared screen. Before she could finish, a bone-chilling cold suddenly crawled up her spine. She raised her head stiffly, meeting a face that was livid and rigid, without a single trace of life. Inside the ruined temple courtyard, 2 rows of stone Vajrapani statues are in ruins. Under the moonlight, it looked increasingly hideous. A broken wooden table sat in the center of the courtyard. One, wearing a magistrate, an old man in a high official's robe sat in the main seat. Li Mingyu was thrown at the temple gate. Mind went completely blank. HMPH. The county magistrate slammed the gavel in his hand. The beams fell rapidly. Do the people below this court plead guilty? The captured man and woman began to scream. This is kidnapping. Calling the police. The county magistrate gave a cold snort and roared. 10 strikes of the stave for each party. 2 constables stepped out mechanically. The heavy punishment staves fell hard. This is abuse! The screams echoed far into the barren mountains. Li Mingyu bit the tip of her tongue hard. She looked at the ground, and her heart instantly stopped. Moonlight spilled into the courtyard. But beneath the feet of those constables and the magistrate, it was completely empty. No shadows. Li Mingyu felt her brain was about to short-circuit. No wonder the security bureau couldn't find any clues. It turns out the killer wasn't human at all. They weren't human, but a pack of fierce staring at the two men who had been beaten until their flesh was split open. The ghost magistrate spoke coldly. Do you plead guilty? The man lay on the ground at his last gasp. Who are you? He asked. Who sent you here? I have money. I have a lot of money. How dare you attempt to bribe me in this court of law? The magistrate looked at the pleading man, a worried ghostly fire burning in his eyes. Drag them out and tear them into 10,000 pieces. And dragged him right next to Li Ming, less than 2 meters away. The punishment stave swung and fell. Red and white matter splattered instantly. A few drops of fresh blood splattered onto Li Mingyu's pale face. Meanwhile, on the highway, on the outskirts of western Nan, Luo Quan stared fixedly at the footage sent by Li Ming. A ghost magistrate? Such things really exist in this. The voices of the team members behind him were trembling. The scene before them. It was piece by piece, shattering their understanding of reality. Don't panic. Mingyu is still inside. Irritably. He had to maintain his sanity, even if the opponent wasn't human. Analysis showed the man was killed because of the attempted bribery. This proves the ghost magistrate has his own set of laws. We can buy time. He pulled up an old file, and his face suddenly turned pale. Found him Zhang Zhishan, the magistrate of Kyotai County in the early Qing dynasty. Damn it. How could it be this brute? Inside the temple, the gavel slammed. You adulteress. Your husband's bones are not yet cold. How dare you engage in such illicit affairs, publicly violating ethics? The ghost magistrate's eyes burned with a worried, ghostly fire, staring fixedly at the woman in heavy makeup, who was kneeling on the ground. Shivering, the woman cried out in despair. I have no money to save him. The flickering green fire in the ghost magistrate's eyes exploded with a stern voice. Wait for Kingshan to investigate thoroughly. You are greedy for wealth, degenerating yourself. Even if that little beast is saved, he will also be shamed because of you. Someone beat her to death. Assistant Li Mingyu stepped forward. Though her legs were shaking, she was still a peace officer. She couldn't watch an innocent person be tortured to death by an evil spirit. Zhang Qingtian. It has been a long time. The ghost magistrate, whose face had been hideous, paused when he heard the word King Shan, upright official, was still indulging in the illusion of being an upright official after death. The ghost magistrate waved his hand with feigned dignity. Since we are colleagues. 李明月深吸一口气，学着古装剧里的模样抱拳，声音清脆响亮。张青天造福一方，功绩万卷难书，百姓感念恩德，才为您立庙传颂。曹台县令张青天之名，何该流芳百世？这一通马屁拍得极准。The ghost magistrate listened with a sense of floating vanity. 的脑袋晃出了节奏。然而李明月话锋一转，可您今日这番判法，恐有纰漏。 The green fire in the ghost magistrate's eyes reignited instantly. Are you saying my judgment as an upright official was flawed? He's crazy? He's provoking the fierce ghost. 咱们还有3分钟就到了。屏幕里，李明月顶着惊人的威压，咬牙继续。张青天明察秋毫，淫妇确实该杀，但此地隶属南海县衙管辖，依大清律例，理应移交南海县处置，免得旁人说您逾权越界，抢了同僚的破案功勋，破庙陷入了死寂。鬼县令脸上的狰狞逐渐化作纠结，贪官最忌惮同僚倾轧。Fearing even more that he would break official protocols and cause a scandal. 他阴恻恻地开口：“有理。” 本青天确实不该逾越。李明月后背早已被汗水湿透，他正准备带着受害女人悄悄撤离。鬼县令又吐出一句：“南海衙门现下何处？” I, the upright official, shall pay a formal visit another day. 飞速运转，下意识回答：“往东50公里。” Nanhai City Security Bureau. Nonsense! The ghost magistrate suddenly flames erupted from him. That place is clearly the Shufu Prefecture. Where did this Nanhai City come from? Li Mingyu thought to herself, "This is bad." But she could only steel herself and explain. Zhang Qingshan might not be aware, but the Shufu Prefecture was renamed Nanhai City long ago. In an instant, the air in the ruined temple seemed to be vacuumed out. The magistrate froze his body, as if he had realized something. The Shufu is gone. Is the great Qing truly gone as well? The great Qing has fallen, to which I was loyal, has truly fallen. Second, he collapsed to the ground like a madman, facing north, wailing shrilly. This servant deserves to die. This servant failed to protect the glory of the Eisenjung. When he raised his head again, his ghostly face was twisted like a demonic spirit. So, you are a rebel, bolder than I. Tear her into 10,000 pieces, flesh and blood. Skin her alive.